Alzheimer's disease is the most feared diagnosis in America, more feared than cancer, more feared than heart disease, because it does not just kill you, it erases you first. Your memories, your personality, your ability to recognize the people you love, all gone before your body follows. Nearly 7 million Americans are living with it right now. By 2050, that number is projected to reach 13 million. There is no cure. The drugs that exist offer, according to clinical reviewers, at most a minor alleviation of symptoms, not a reversal, not a halt, a slight delay in the disappearance of who you are. The Okinawa Centenarian Study found that our elders are significantly less likely to develop dementia than their Western counterparts. We have centenarians who remember the names of their great great grandchildren, who teach calligraphy at 97, who manage household finances at 102, who hold conversations at 104 that most 70-year-olds in the West can no longer hold. This is not luck. This is not genetics. When researchers examined what protects our brains, they did not find a miracle drug. They did not find an expensive supplement. They found a daily drink that we have consumed for centuries, 3 to 5 times every single day, without ever thinking of it as a medicine. It costs 10 cents a cup. It is on the shelf of every grocery store in America. And the $8 billion brain supplement industry hopes you never find out what it is. Walk into any pharmacy in America, and you will find an entire aisle dedicated to brain health, nootropics, memory boosters, cognitive enhancers, focus pills, bottles with names designed to sound scientific, labels covered in pictures of glowing neurons, and price tags between $40 and $80 a month. The brain supplement industry is worth $8 billion a year in the United States alone. It is one of the fastest growing segments in the entire supplement market. And here is what the industry does not print on the label. Not one of these products has demonstrated clinical efficacy in rigorous human trials for preventing or treating cognitive decline. Not one. The Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation reviewed the evidence on the most popular brain supplement compounds: EGCG in capsule form, ginkgo biloba, phosphatidylserine, lion's mane bacopa, and the conclusion was consistent across the board. Preclinical promise in animal models, minimal or no evidence of benefit in humans. The supplements that claim to protect your brain have never been proven to protect your brain. Meanwhile, the pharmaceutical drugs approved for Alzheimer's are not much better. After decades of research and hundreds of billions in funding, the treatments available offer what clinical reviewers describe as, at most, a minor alleviation of symptoms. They do not reverse the disease. They do not stop it. They slow it marginally, at a cost of tens of thousands of dollars per year, with significant side effects. The entire Western approach to brain aging is built on treating the disease after it starts. No one is making money teaching you how to never develop it in the first place. On our island, we never needed to treat it because we never stopped preventing it. The drink is sampincha. It is what we call jasmine green tea in Okinawa. We drink it the way Americans drink water, with breakfast, after lunch, in the afternoon with friends, before bed. 3 to 5 cups a day, every day from childhood until death. A box of loose leaf jasmine green tea costs $3 to $4 at any grocery store and lasts a month. That is roughly 10 cents per cup. In 2006, Dr. Shinichi Kuriyama, a Tohoku University published a cross-sectional study of 1,003 Japanese adults aged 70 and older. He tested their cognitive function using the mini mental state examination and correlated the results with their green tea consumption. The findings were remarkable. Those who drank 2 or more cups of green tea per day had a 44% lower prevalence of cognitive impairment compared to those who drank 3 cups or fewer per week. The adjusted odds ratio was 0.56, nearly half the risk. The Osaki cohort study, one of the largest prospective studies ever conducted on green tea and dementia, followed thousands of elderly Japanese participants over multiple years and confirmed the inverse association. Higher green tea consumption consistently correlated with lower incidence of dementia. Not coffee, not black tea, not oolong tea. Only green tea showed the protective effect, suggesting that the mechanism is specific to compounds unique to green tea. The compound responsible is EGCG, epigallocatechin 3-gallate. It is the most abundant catechin in green tea and one of the few dietary compounds proven to cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside the brain, EGCG does 3 things that no supplement pill has been able to replicate. First, it prevents the formation of amyloid beta plaques, the protein deposits that accumulate between neurons and are the hallmark of Alzheimer's disease. Second, it breaks down plaques that have already formed. Third, it promotes neurogenesis, the growth of new neurons in the hippocampus, the brain region responsible for converting short-term memories into long-term ones. On top of EGCG, green tea contains L-theanine, an amino acid that crosses the blood-brain barrier and promotes alpha brainwave activity. The state associated with calm, focused attention. EGCG protects the brain structurally. L-theanine protects it functionally. Both delivered in a single cup that costs a dime. But I need to tell you something important. If green tea alone could prevent Alzheimer's, Japan would have no dementia at all. It does not work that way. The tea is the daily foundation. But what makes our system work is what surrounds it. The most powerful brain protector in the Okinawan system is not a food. It is people. In 2023, a review published in Nature Aging examined every major study on social participation and dementia risk. The conclusion was striking. Greater social participation in midlife and late life is associated with a 30 to 50% lower subsequent dementia risk, not 5%, not 10%. Up to half the risk eliminated by the simple act of being with other people. A separate analysis found that social isolation independently elevates dementia risk by 26%. Livingston and colleagues calculated that 3.5% of all dementia cases globally are directly attributable to social isolation. Almost as many as obesity, hypertension, and diabetes combined. Think about what that means. Loneliness is nearly as dangerous for your brain as being obese, having high blood pressure, and having diabetes at the same time. Our Moai system, the lifelong social circles I described in a previous video, is not just emotional support. It is a neurological protection system. Every conversation forces your brain to process language in real time, read facial expressions, retrieve memories, formulate responses, and adapt to social cues. That is a full cognitive workout every day for life. The brain, like bone, responds to demand. Use it and it builds. Stop using it and it decays. An Okinawan elder who meets with her moai every morning is running a cognitive training program more sophisticated than any app or supplement on the market. The second layer is movement. Daily walking increases cerebral blood flow and triggers the release of BDNF, brain derived neurotrophic factor, the protein responsible for growing new synaptic connections. Our elders walk everywhere. They garden, they climb stairs, they get up from the floor. Each of those activities sends blood and growth signals to the brain. A sedentary brain is a starving brain. The third layer is teaching. Okinawan elders actively pass down knowledge to younger generations. Cooking, weaving, calligraphy, farming. The act of teaching forces your brain to retrieve stored information, organize it, and articulate it clearly. A process that builds cognitive reserve, the brain's ability to compensate for age related damage. A retired American who watches television 8 hours a day is allowing that reserve to drain. An Okinawan elder who teaches her granddaughter to cook is refilling it. The fourth layer is the diet itself. Omega 3 fatty acids from fish and seaweed are structural components of brain cell membranes and support synaptic plasticity. Isoflavonoids from tofu support cerebrovascular health, the blood flow that keeps the brain oxygenated. Curcumin from turmeric reduces neuroinflammation through the same NF-kappa B pathway I described in a previous video. Each layer alone is modest. Together, with the tea as the daily anchor, they build a brain that resists decay for a century. Go to your grocery store today. Find the tea aisle. Buy a box of jasmine green tea or any green tea, Bigelow, Twinings, Trader Joe's brand, Kirkland at Costco, it does not matter. Loose leaf is slightly better than bags, but both work. $3 to $4. It will last you a month. Steep it for 2 to 3 minutes in water that is just below boiling. Not boiling. Boiling water burns the leaf and makes the tea bitter and destroys some of the EGCG. Remove the bag or strain the leaves. Drink it. That is your first cup. Do it again at lunch. Again in the afternoon. 2 to 3 cups a day is the minimum threshold where the studies showed benefit. The Okinawan pattern is 3 to 5. Do not add sugar. Do not add milk. Casein, the protein in milk, binds to EGCG and reduces its bioavailability. Lemon is fine. Vitamin C actually enhances catechin absorption. A squeeze of lemon in your green tea is not a flavor choice. It is a bioavailability upgrade. That is the foundation. Now, add the layers. Call someone today. Not a text, not a comment on social media. A real voice conversation with a real human being. Better yet, meet someone in person. Have a meal together. Talk about something that requires you to think, remember, and respond. Do this daily. Your brain does not care whether the conversation is profound or mundane. It cares that you are processing language, reading emotions, and retrieving memories in real time. That is the stimulus that builds cognitive reserve. Scrolling a screen in silence does not produce it. A face to face conversation does. Teach something to someone younger than you this week. A recipe, a skill, a story from your life. How to change a tire, how to make miso soup, how to balance a checkbook. It does not matter what. The act of organizing knowledge and transmitting it verbally is one of the most cognitively demanding tasks the human brain can perform. Our elders do it every day. That is why they stay sharp. Eat fish twice a week. Add turmeric to your cooking. Keep walking every day. These are not suggestions. These are the specific behaviors that correlate with the lowest dementia rates ever recorded in human history. Total daily cost 10 cents for the tea and whatever you were already spending on food. The brain supplement industry charges you $50 a month to feel like you are doing something. This system actually does it. Alzheimer's is projected to cost the United States $1.1 trillion by 2050. It is the only disease in the top 10 causes of death that cannot be prevented, cured, or slowed, according to the industry that profits from treating it. On our island, we have been preventing it for centuries, not with a drug, not with a supplement, with a 10-cent cup of tea, a daily conversation with people we love, a walk through the garden, and a lifetime of never stopping learning and never stopping teaching. Our centenarians do not sit in memory care facilities. They sit at tables with their grandchildren, drinking sampin cha, telling stories they remember with perfect clarity. At 100 years old, the tea is on your shelf, the phone is in your hand, the walk is outside your door. None of it requires a prescription. In the next video, I am going to show you how Okinawan elders maintain perfect blood pressure at 90 years old without a single pill. The method costs $0 and the $28 billion anti-hypertensive industry has never mentioned it to you. Not once.